Sometimes you just need a break. I watched Grave Encounters, a found footage movie found for free on Tubi, and Grave Encounters is one of those classic found footage movies that I usually recommend to newbies to found footage. When they're asking the best movies to start with, Grave Encounters is near the top of the list for me. I admit I did a review of this today to take a break from questionable movies. I thought it might be nice to watch something that I have seen before, and boy was I right. Grave Encounters is a parody of Ghost Adventures to start with the main character Lance Preston being very much like a Zak Bagans sort of character, except that he plays it up more and he seems to know things are being played up to a degree. I honestly don't think Zak Bagans has any clue that people might be messing with him. He seems too genuine for that. This movie starts with a documentary wraparound with an executive from a television network talking about how the footage that we're about to see is real, and it was what was left from a taping of episode 6 of the paranormal television show Grave Encounters. And things went very, very wrong. And then that's when we get into the movie itself. Like I said, Lance Preston is the main character. He's very much like Zak Bagans, and he goes around interviewing people about this mental asylum that they're going to be spending the night in. Eventually, they talk about Arthur Friedkin, a neurologist who did over 140 lobotomies in his time at the asylum, and he ended up being killed by his patients. They talk to some people about the asylum itself, including a gardener who they bribed to talk about seeing a spooky ghost. And they eventually enter the asylum for a lock-in, where they have the owner of the property lock the doors behind them, and they intend to spend the next 7 hours investigating ghosts overnight in this old asylum. They begin to have paranormal experiences, and they eventually try to leave once they feel they have enough footage. Things begin happening, interacting with them. A girl gets her hair pulled on, that sort of stuff. But once they have enough footage, Lance decides that it's time to go, and when they finally get the doors to the exit open at 8 a.m., which is well past the time they were supposed to be let out, there's more hallways behind the door that they originally entered through. The asylum has trapped them, and time begins to warp, food begins to rot in the cooler, and no matter what time their phones say it is pitch black. So that is where the movie continues on from, and I'm not going to spoil any further, because I think Grave Encounters is one of those movies that everybody should watch. It's really a top example of a found footage film. I give this movie 4.5 stars out of 5. I know I'm singing its praises, but there's a good reason for it. And if memory serves, the sequel's not so bad either. So I would suggest, if you feel like you're in the mood for a good found footage movie or just a good movie in general and you feel like being spooked, look up Grave Encounters. You can find it for free on Tubi, and it may be for free on YouTube as well. I would definitely suggest giving it a watch.